Hi, my name is Michelle Oldani. I'm a patient of Total Health Institute, and I wanted to talk to other people about my experience here. Total Health Institute is a very special place, a place that honestly I wish everyone could experience. I don't think there's anyone who couldn't benefit from what they have to offer here. But for those people, those of us that have some serious health challenges, I think it's all the more important and all the more special, because you can find healing here that you really can't, I'm going to say, elsewhere, or at least it's very difficult to find. My personal journey began probably years ago. I have been struggling off and on for years with hormonal imbalances, and they manifest themselves in different ways, from what looked like diabetes to multiple sclerosis to lupus. And it was very challenging because in those times, doctors never really understood what was happening. And the unknowing, the not knowing, was sometimes the hardest part. But luckily, I got through them, and I would have normal periods for a while. A few years ago, though, those imbalances culminated into a more serious disease. And after 9 months of struggling and talking to doctors and taking tests, I finally got a diagnosis. That in itself was kind of wonderful. With that diagnosis came a lot of pharmaceutical drugs that didn't agree with me, and surgery, and more pharmaceutical drugs. And that's when I really actually started to fail in my health. I think that my toxic overload was so high. And then the emotional side came in too. And one thing that I've learned in this journey is that everything is tied together. There's no such thing as just the physical, or just the mental, or just the emotional. They are inseparable. We are human beings, and we have all of those aspects about us, and they cannot be separated. So you cannot affect one without affecting the other. Another reason why this institute is so special. But anyway, my journey continued, and after all of the toxic drugs, and also with an incredibly stressful job at the same time, I was getting to the point where I just was not sure I was going to get through the day. And a friend, personal trainer, mentioned that she thought I had adrenal fatigue. And after being tested and found out I did, I knew that I could not heal unless I really cut down on my stress level and started to take care of myself. It was at that point, about 2.5 years ago, that I left my position as a corporate executive and decided to focus on healing. I had wonderful doctors. I also supplemented that with natural doctors, and I made some progress. I think a lot of the progress was in understanding the mind-body emotion connection with changing my diet and finding some things that helped. But honestly, 2 years later, after not working, maybe it was about 1.5 years, and trying all these things, I was still not well. So it was then I began another search for some deeper healing, that I could get on with my life. I slept all the time. I was chronically fatigued, ironically. It turns out I have chronic fatigue. But I slept maybe 16 hours a day. I had no quality of life. I had no energy. Things that I normally enjoyed, I couldn't enjoy. And so I began looking for other options. Family members recommended me going to some institutes that are known for their diagnosis, but I knew in my heart that wasn't going to be the answer. There was too much going on, and I needed really true whole healing. So in expressing this, and expressing some of my concerns and frustrations to a friend, another friend overheard and said, I know of a very special place, and you should at least do yourself the justice of checking it out. So she mentioned me, Total Health Institute, and I went on the website, and it's like the sky opened and the angels sang. I saw on their website that they really understood a lot of what I had been searching for. I knew I had hormonal imbalances. I knew my pH balance was off. I knew I had anemia. I knew I had thyroid challenges. I knew I had adrenal challenges. And sometimes these things are just too complex for I think, the conventional medical system to handle right now. They address one thing, and I knew I needed something that really addressed the whole. I was looking for total healing and total health. And as the name says, that's what they offer. And after looking at the website, I felt sure that this was very likely a very unusual place that might actually understand what I was going through. And so I followed my heart, and I came here, and I have been here about 5 months. And my first month, I decided to do the inpatient program. I was blessed to be able to do that. One of the blessings, I guess, of not working, but it was wonderful. It was intense, and it really, I think, helped me achieve a greater level of healing faster than I could have otherwise. Since then, I've been in the outpatient program, and my life has changed dramatically already. Since coming to the Total Health Institute, I have completely transformed. Physically, I had been struggling with severe chronic fatigue, among other things. And I think the most noticeable thing for my family and myself is that I have found an amazing amount of energy in comparison. I used to sleep maybe 16 hours a day and sleep during times when most people were awake. And I don't do that anymore. I stay awake all day. I have more energy. And I think that's improving more and more as time goes on. I'm able to walk and I'm able to exercise. And while those are things I think most people take for granted, those are not things that I've been able to do the last year and a half, 2 years. So that in itself is a godsend. I've also seen a great reduction in many of my symptoms. My hair was falling out from thyroid, headaches, allergies, skin problems, numerous things. Those have all cleared and gone away. Mentally and emotionally, which I think was something really important for me to learn, that there is no separation between the physical and the mental and emotional. Mentally and emotionally, I'm more calm. I am less worried. My healing has been deeper than that, too. I am becoming a different person. I have a better understanding for what's important in life, what real healing is, what real living is, and the completeness of that, and how important it is to live in this moment. I guess sometimes when you're really sick and the past doesn't matter and you can hardly see the future, it's one of the things it teaches you, and it is a blessing to live in the moment. I hope that if you're looking at this video, if you've come this far, if you've been brought to the website, if you've heard about Total Health Institute, I would just urge you to look into your heart and say, does this feel right? Does this sound like the type of healing that I'm looking for? From what I've experienced from the very special people that I've met here, both patients and otherwise, most people have that feeling. They know that there is something very extraordinary that takes place here. And I hope that you find it. God bless.